Undirected team, how's it going, y'all? We have another show, and this is going to wrap up all the main stories that I wanted to cover throughout the week. You can't cover everything, there's just too much going on in the world. So we have to be niche in what we cover, but we are going to go through a few different things. So we'll start with, some fun stories. Then we'll get into some criminal stories. Then we'll go into sports. And then obviously, well, not obviously, but after that, we're going to get into relationships with two of our main stories being on Omi and a Hellcat and Simone Biles. So stay tuned for those two stories, which are coming up at the end of the show. And they're going to be intense. They're going to be fun to break down and talk about. And we're going to have a lot of fun with it. So let's actually get into it right away. All right. So what's our first story? Well, let's zoom in a little bit and see what we got here. I'll read this and then we'll discuss. So, this is from Historic Vids. They're on X. Shout to them. I do. I'm not subscribed to them, but they pop up on my feed, and every once in a while they have some really interesting things. So, let's talk about this for a little bit. The story of the Costco founder threatening the CEO not to raise the price of Costco hot dog is quite an interesting one. In 2018, it was revealed that when the current CEO, Craig Jelinek, approached the CEO founder, Jim Senegal, about raising the price of the hot dog, Senegal told him, if you raise the price of the effing hot dog, I will kill you. Figure it out. He didn't laugh when he said that. I'm laughing when I'm saying it, but he was mad. He was like, I will kill you. So he did that. And then this exchange has become somewhat of a legend and demonstrates the company's commitment to keeping the prices low for their customers. In fact, the price of the hot dog and soda combo has remained at $1.50 since 1985. They are getting killed by inflation. To maintain this low price, Costco even went as far as to build their own hot dog factory in Los Angeles in 2009. Wow, I bet they're paying a lot of money to operate out of Los Angeles. Sheesh, they didn't know it was going to happen 13 years later, or probably at the time it was probably bad. Anyways, and later, another one in Chicago. This allowed them to reduce production costs and continue offering the hot dog at the same low price. So it seems that the threat of the founder was quite effective in keeping the price of the hot dog down. Who knew that a simple hot dog could be so important to the company's identity and customer loyalty? And as you can see here, we have their 0.25 pound plus all beef hot dog. I bet back then it was pork. It probably changed to all beef. So that's probably something they did change. You think it was all beef back in 1985? They a lot of the uh restaurants and stuff kind of moved away from like the pork hot dog. You'll see it used to be a combination of like pork, turkey, and it was kind of just like the leftover parts of the pig and the animals, and they just combined it and then grinded it up and then put it in tube form and then sold it to the people. But now it's kind of like more like an all beef thing. And you get your 20-ounce soda with it with the refill. Looks like just one refill, but I mean, if you got a cup, you can just go there as long as you want. There's nobody standing at the pop dispenser making sure that you only get one refill. So it is what it is. But shout out to Costco for that. Just kind of keeping some tradition alive, no matter what. Even though they're probably taking a hit in one way or another, but I'm pretty sure they have different ways to make it up. They're probably making so much money that they can, like, let's say they're losing 5 million on the hot dogs a year, but they're bringing in different, like they got people coming in to buy dollar $1.50 hot dog, but then they're coming in and they're buying a damn couch for like uh $700, and they're buying a whole bunch of junk they don't need. So and then actually a slice is only 1.99. Ice cream cup that probably went up. The slice probably went up too, but the slice is still actually pretty cheap, and it looks like a whole pizza for $10, which I mean, yeah, it's not bad actually. And then we have one more thing to go over here, and you look at what this guy is saying. We'll zoom in on this, and we'll read through this real quick. The Costco hot dog was introduced to the food courts in 1984, 1 year after Costco's opening in 1983. The original hot dog was made by Hebrew National, which was sold at a hot dog cart outside Chicago, or also in Chicago, outside a Costco location in San Diego. The price was set at 150 at its introduction and has remained at 150 ever since. And then we won't read the rest of that, but this chart is interesting because it shows if it would have kept up with inflation, what the price of a hot dog would be today. And it looks like it's just over $4 is what they would need to charge to stay in tune with the rate of inflation since 1985. So that's over three times the cost of the original hot dog. Wait, not over three times. Let's see, 153. About 2.25%. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. They make a lot of money off of, I thought I seen, was it in this one? Yeah, it was this one. So if you look here, they make a lot of money off of their memberships, and their membership has grown exponentially. So they're not losing too much on a hot dog because in 2000 they were making 1 billion off memberships, and now they're making over 7 billion off memberships. And just in the last year alone, they went up 33%, which is incredible. So, oh, and that's, oh no, that's the operating profit. So they're making a lot of profit. They almost doubled their profit over the last couple of years. And it's probably went up more because this ends at 2021 and we're in 23 now. So the end of 23 actually. So yeah, very interesting. And shout out to Costco. So um yeah, if you want to go back and feel like you're still in 1985, you can go to Costco and get, after paying the membership, of course, you can go in there and get a, you can go in there with 6 quarters and come out with a soda and a dog. So, if you want that, you got that choice. So, you know, that's what Costco's doing to keep tradition alive. So, good job by them. I'm not upset with that. All right. Our next story is on Nancy Pelosi. Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi. Oh, that's her Instagram right there. So Nancy, and anybody that isn't really in tune with the stock market, I think it was a low percentage. I think like it's only like 40% of Americans actually invest in the stock market or something like that. Should we look that up real quick? Hold on one second. Let me look that up. I want to look that up real quick. How many Americans invest in the stock market? And I don't want to go straight to a website. Let me actually type it all in. All right. This says that 61% of US adults in 2023 say they own stock. The first time the annual average has been at 61% since 2008. 2019. The average was 60 or higher in all but 1 year. The low point of stock ownership was 52% in 2013 to 2016. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was around like 40 to 50%. It boomed a lot during the pandemic because cryptocurrency got so big that a lot of people got involved in cryptocurrency, and then they started to look at like normal stocks, and people started to invest. So not a lot of people invest in stocks. So there's a good chance that nearly half of you, a little less than half of you watching this don't have a stock. But Pelosi, Pelosi. Pelosi right here you see is they're saying she bought up to 5 million worth of Nvidia call options. They have a strike price of 120 with an expiration date of 20 of 12/20/24. So basically a year from now. She's hoping that that strike price hits. I don't really understand this because as far as I know, Nvidia is trading around $443 and a strike price of 120 has already been achieved long ago, but there's something going on. Regardless of the fact, it looks like she bought 5 million worth of Nvidia call options. So Pelosi knows something that we don't know. So if you're not into stocks, this isn't this isn't financial advice, but just keep an eye on Nvidia and you might want to put a couple dollars in there. If Pelosi's doing it, she's doing it for a reason. She has some insider information. And yeah, you might want to watch Nvidia and see what happens with that. So we won't get oh, okay. This isn't Pelosi's actual. This isn't her actual Twitter. I thought her actual Twitter pulled up, but no, this is the Queen is back. This is her largest purchase in over 3 years. So yeah, just and this comes down to everybody wondering how politicians are able to invest in stocks in the first place. And that's kind of where the problem is because we really don't know the information that they have within the stocks that they're trading in. But if I was to trade stocks in a company that, you know, my friend owned, and my friend told me, hey, I'm getting ready to make this move. This is a good time to short our stocks, which means you're betting that the stock will go down, or this is a good time to hedge our stocks. I think hedge is up, which means that our stock is going to shoot up and I'm able to go in a week before a big announcement is going to be made or something's going to happen and put money into it. It can be exponential. It's no different than a better way to explain it for, people that want a easy metaphor to understand. It's like having Michael Jordan as your best friend and then going to Vegas and putting $100 saying that Michael Jordan's going to lose the game against the Utah Jazz, and you just hollered at Mike at his house while y'all were sipping wine the night before his game, and Mike told you, "Hey, I'm gonna have an awful game. Like I'm not scoring. I'm passing the ball to Scottie Pippen every time. I have a feeling that he's gonna end up with I have a feeling that my son's gonna end up with his wife at this time, and I don't like Scotty, so I'm gonna let him do what try to do what I usually do, and I'm gonna pass him the ball instead of him passing me the ball to make buckets. And because of that, we're probably gonna have a bad game. So you might want to bet on Utah this game because I'm gonna have an awful game. So I go to Vegas and I put $1 million on the Utah Jazz to win at plus 325, and then my $1 million turns into $4.5 million or something like that. 4.35. Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of what it is. And so Pelosi is just she's doing some shady things and we have no idea what's going on. But usually when a politician is making a big investment in stocks, it's something to go for. She's not putting $5 million in to lose it. She's probably thinking her 5 million is going to turn into like 20 million over the next year. So keep that in mind. It is what it is. On to other news. We're going to get into some gaming news. I don't know if anybody's heard, but Insomniac Games was hacked. And the more important things were like employees' information being put out to the public, uh, basically doxing them, which doxing means to put your information out to the public. Uh, they were hacked. The hackers did offer to keep this private, they reached out to Insomniac Games and Sony specifically and said, look, you give us 2 mil, you give us 2 mil, and we'll make this all go away. We will not leak your game, Wolverine, which is due to come out in like 2026. Why does it take so long to put games out? I just feel like, look, look, back in the day, right? When it was like, and I know games are way more difficult to make now, but the original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, they used to put out games right away. Like the Terminator movie would come out and they'd have a Terminator game before the movie even came out. They'd be putting out trailers for Terminator. Developers get in the studio, they make a Terminator game within like a month. It'd be out like in 6 weeks. And it's on the NES. They done already produced the cartridges, advertised it, put it out, and you're playing the Terminator game before the actual movie comes out. But nowadays, it takes like 10 years to make a game, a la GTA 6. But GTA 6 is kind of a massive game. But I don't feel like Wolverine should have took as long as it did to come out. If they'd already put the game out, this wouldn't have happened. But I'm not taking sides here. I gotta go against the hackers on this. It's pretty insane. But Insomniac Games has to do a better job, with their cybersecurity. So there's a lot to blame here. But they did put out a statement regarding what happened. And we'll just gloss over it real quick. We're saddened and angered about the recent criminal cyber attack on our studio and the emotional toll it's taking on our development team to be specific. We have focused inwardly for the last several days to support each other. So they're in there consoling each other, hugging each other, crying on each other's shoulders. And the main thing about this is they're saying that Marvel's Wolverine, Marvel, Marvel has taken a lot of hits as of lately. Wow. They probably should have kept Marvel out of it. Just say Wolverine so people don't understand it's made by Marvel, because Marvel's been, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, they're basically saying that they're gonna continue to put out the game. The game is in early production and will no doubt greatly evolve throughout development, as do all of our plans. So we will share information about Marvel's Wolverine when the time is right. Um, and then they kind of thank everybody for supporting them, even though there's like thousands at least, if not more. Might even get to the hundreds of thousands. 4 digits, thousands, 5 digits, tens of thousands. I'll probably say tens of thousands are playing the game right now on PC and even on Xbox, as there's been there's been a leak to actually play this on Xbox, which is crazy because this is a Sony exclusive, meaning that it's only going to come out on the PS5 and possibly the PS4. But they're playing it on Xbox right now as we speak in a build. I don't understand what's taking so long though. Like, and I get it. It takes a long time to put out games, but y'all gotta speed up the production, man. Like everything is just so slow. I don't get it, man. Like this game's been in production since like 2018 or something. Like we've been hearing about Wolverine since 2018. It's 2023 and they're still not planning to release it till 2026. I mean, men and women have perished waiting for this game the same way that they're going to perish waiting for GTA 6. I'd only be so lucky if I can make it to see GTA 6 within my actual lifetime. So, guys, I have no idea at this point what takes so long to make these games, but anyways, it's what Insomniac had to say about everything that's happened. I am, sorry this had to happen to them, but I'm just going to say put the games out quicker. I know people are going to be upset and say you don't understand and all this stuff. Just get the games out quicker. That's all I'm going to say, period. I don't care what y'all are saying. It shouldn't take this damn long to put out a game. I hate it as a consumer specifically, and that's all I am as a consumer. No, I'm not back there with the devs creating. I do create content. As you can see, I'm creating content now. Um, I do create. I just get it out sooner. That's my take on that. But anyways, we're moving on from that, and we'll see Wolverine in 2026 or maybe even sooner or later, depending on how the hack affected him. But it was supposedly supposed to come out in 2026. All right. Speaking about hacks and all of that, we're gonna go into this guy right here. For some reason, he's blurred out and he's holding a fish. We'll zoom in on him real quick, even though we can't see him. Because he's 18 years old, but they're blurring him. I thought you were an adult at 18 years old. You only got to blur out kids. Maybe when this picture was taken, he was still under 18. Whatever, makes sense. That's kind of weird though. So when you blur out, so if somebody's kid picture is when they're 13, but they're now 30 years old, do you still blur out the kid picture? So if you're 13 and there's a picture and you're 13, you blur it out, right? But okay, so for instance, if somebody wants to say something about me and they're like, all right, Dot Cell, aka Undirected guy, and they're talking about me or whatever, and they show a picture of me, when I was in Stevenson Elementary, uh, when I was what 7, 8 years old, and they blur my face out, but I'm now 36. Do they need to do that? I mean, I don't care. You can show me as a kid as long as I'm not in the bathtub or something like that. But even then, I guess it doesn't matter because I'm no longer that person. I don't know. Anyways, they got him blurred out. He's 18 now. The 18-year-old attacker who has leaked clips of the forthcoming Grand Theft Auto game has been sentenced to an in, uh, indefinite hospital order. Arion, I'm not gonna say his last name, who's autistic. I think a lot of us are autistic. Yeah, I said us. I might be autistic too. Who the hell knows? I don't even know what autism is exactly on a I mean, I get it when you're like heavily autistic. I went to daycare with a kid that was autistic and he did some strange things. But he was obviously autistic. Some of these guys like that are autistic, you can't really tell. They be like low-key geniuses. Like this guy. I mean, he's using probably his genius for the wrong things, like hacking into, Rockstar um who's this? Yeah. Yeah, Rockstar Games, but uh it cost him $10 million, which they make. I mean, I'm not pocket watching. I'm just saying $10 million to Rockstar. Uber might hurt Uber a little bit. Nvidia, Rockstar though, they're probably good. Like, not saying that it's okay for them to lose 10 million. I'm just saying like it always break it down as far as like them losing 10 million is like me losing $1.50, which would hurt because I wouldn't be able to get a Costco hot dog if I lost $1.50. So, um, and a drink. So I wouldn't want to lose $1.50. Rockstar doesn't want to lose $10 million. Let's see. Cybercrime. He remained a high risk to the public. So yeah, high risk to the public because he's hacking private companies. Well, Rockstar Games are actually, I mean, they've set an IPO, but they're still kind of like private. They're everything they do is under wraps. They're not like putting out their source code for their games. They're under wraps with everything they're doing with GTA, which is why they, got hacked because they're hiding it to the public. If they just put everything out there, he would have no power because, everything's already out there. What is there to hack? We already know. But, they got everything hidden from the people. He will remain in a secure hospital for life unless doctors deem him no longer a danger. So he'll be in there for a while at least. I doubt he'll be in there for life. He'll get out eventually. They'll hypnotize him and break him and or he'll fake it and then he'll get out and he will hack them again. Uh but the main thing about him was severe autism. And that's the thing, severe autism, but he's able to calculatedly, is that a word? Calculatedly. He's able to make a calculated act as far as breaking into hacking Rockstar Games. Is he the one that did it with the fire stick? Let me see. One of them did it with a fire stick out of a hotel room or something like that. Was it him? I'm not gonna read all this anyway, so just go through it. 6 weeks. Oh, okay. 17. So at that time he was 17 because of his age. 17-year-old. Grown men getting hacked by 17-year-olds. Why don't these he's common? That's probably why he's, getting celebrated their crimes publicly, taunted. Somebody hacked with a rehabilitation and intense supervision and a ban on using VPNs online. So yeah, anyway, so this kid is in the hospital indefinitely because he showed no remorse, and he said when he get, oh yeah, this is right here, I'll pass it up right here. He used a fire stick. I mean, I got the cube, but I got a fire cube, which is more powerful than the fire stick. So can I just hack into anybody right now? Yo, lay him out and teach me how to hack. I'm not gonna use it for wrong thing. Look, it's the same thing as, like, think about it. A locksmith can technically break into any house he wants to, right? It doesn't mean that he's gonna break into a house because he knows how to create a key, or he's gonna steal your car because he can still he can make a key for any vehicle he wants to. Locksmiths are the most dangerous people on the planet if you want to be real, but they don't use their knowledge and expertise to commit crimes. So teach me how to hack. I'm not gonna hack Rockstar or Insomniac or anybody else. I just want to know how to do it because I think it's cool. And I do think that what he's doing is really cool. He's just doing it for the wrong reason. So, shout out to him. Uh all right. So yeah, he'll be in a hospital for a while, but not in prison. He's in a hospital. So it's better than prison. All right. Moving out of that and gaming and hacking, we are going to get into some sports stuff. And we'll start out light real quick with this woman right here called, is this, see if that video comes up. But for now, Emily, all right, we're going to try this. Rat to Ratajkowski. Ratajkowski. I'm gonna go with that. Ratajkowski. I'm saying that wrong. I'm almost positive. Oh, let's see if we can. Let's see what we got. Oh, they don't. I gotta read it anyways. The one time I don't gotta read, they don't even say it. So it's just music. All right, well, let's do this real quick. Let's watch it. Celebrity on Madison's card anytime soon. Okay, because this woman, she exited early in a nail biter Knicks victory with a couple minutes to go. This is a no-no when you're getting seats for free. Ratajkowski, Radikowski was rejected for the coveted comp seats for the Rangers tickets at MSG as well. So she tried to then pivot to go to watch a Rangers game, and they were like, "You ain't if you ain't good with the Knicks, you ain't good with the Rangers. We all won in this." And even though most hockey fans don't know a damn thing about basketball and vice versa, if you ain't messing with the Knicks, you ain't messing with the Rangers because we NYC to the death. The top model is welcome to attend games at the venue as long as she buys tickets like any other parent. That's not happening. She will not be in any more games at all, period, indefinitely. For life. She's not going to be at games for life. She in the same boat as the GTA hacker right now. They're one and the same. What else we got? Anything else? That's her and her friend. Uh, Emily was unaware of any issue given that she and Irina left the game early due to a childcare issue at home. A childcare issue at home? I'm not buying it. Sounds like something you would say after the fact. I doubt she told everybody before she left the game and panicked out of there. Hey, my child is having an issue at home. I got to get out of here. It's very important. She probably said that after the fact when she tried to come back to get a regular VIP ticket, and they were like, nope. I got a soundbite for nope. What do I got on here? Yeah, they probably hit her with that or this one. That's what the Knicks did. The Knicks did the evil laugh when she asked for another ticket. Yo, this woman and her friend got fried when they tried to pull back up. They got fried when they tried to pull back up. Hold on, what is it? Um, they're comp seats though. Like if you're getting tickets for free, and they do this for celebrities, just because having celebrities at the front row of the game. Now, when you watch games, especially when you watch big games, you'll see they'll show Jack Nicholson or Floyd Mayweather might be there, 50 Cent. It was really big when Taylor Swift came to Kelsey's games at Chiefs, and they were able to show Taylor Swift, and that boosted the NFL's ratings for those specific games exponentially. So they like to be able to show these celebrities, which I don't even know who she is, but she's somebody if she's getting comp seats at, and that's the thing. Like we're really in a bubble when it comes to like celebrities because I have no idea, and we're gonna talk about this later in the show. I be having no idea who some of these people are, but to some other people, they're gods. So it's like y'all that are watching me probably don't know anything about another person that I watch, and then vice versa. It's just kind of crazy. Like we're all within bubbles within society, and we have no idea that we're even in those bubbles. And that's what we're going to talk about when we get to the Simone Biles and her husband, uh, Jonathan Owens, and even with the Omi and the Hellcat story, because like those two things are kind of crazy. So this woman right here, that I think that's her exiting, or maybe that's a well, she's no longer allowed to come back to MSG unless she pays for her $5,000 seats because they didn't like that she left the game when it was big. Like the New York Knicks were coming back, and the Knicks would have really liked to know that they were there. It's kind of like think about it. What if you're playing a game and you're in your men's league or your AAU tournament, you're a kid. We'll do this for kids and adults. You're in your men's league and there's 15 people in the crowd for your playoff game, or you're in your AAU tournament and you're playing for the third place trophy and you're down 15 points with 5 minutes left, and you're a kid and you look over and you see your mom with her head down in shame, and she walks out of the arena like, my kid is a failure. I'm not watching this trash. I can't be seen here when the other team hoists the trophy in front of her, the third place trophy. Or your wife, usually the men's league games, it's never like a big crowd. You got wives and girlfriends, and maybe sometime kids will be there, and some cousins will come and stuff, and friends here and there, and they see their friends men's league team getting their butts kicked, and they just kind of sneak out, and you look over and you're like, and it hurts. So Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle and all those guys, Josh Hart, they looked over and they didn't see Emily over there, and it hurt them. It hurt them really bad to know she wasn't there to watch them come back and win the game. And the owners of the Knicks and the CEOs and all of them took offense to that, and they said these two are no longer allowed to enter Knicks games, and you're even paying a premium if you want to purchase seats regular. We see you, the one that wants to purchase tickets, we're charging you an extra 30% because you hurt our feelings. So that's what happened with them. And yeah, they seem a bit salty because they definitely try to come back to more games so they could, instead of actually watching the game, sit on their phone and drink free Patron shots, they no longer get that option. And it probably hurts them more because they get less visibility. Um, that's going to get them more followers and more attention being at the game in the front row for their Instagram, which I'm sure they have, which is very popular. But now they won't see as much growth on their social media because they are no longer able to attend games, and they're going to get clowned for it too. So, yeah, that was a bad thing by them. Just stay the extra 10 minutes, deal with getting out of the packed uh, stadium, after let out. But they want to beat the traffic, and now we'll never have to worry about it again moving forward. So, this one actually just came up, and I wanted to cover this one. So, look, I have no idea that this game happened. I don't know what the Ventures Bowl is. I think the bowl games are something that aren't watched by most people because usually you're just watching for the two teams that you support. I mean, if you're a degenerate gambler, you might have been watching this game and it might have affected you. If you had the Jaguars and probably the over, you covered. If you had the Eagles, obviously you lost miserably and you knew you lost immediately, probably after the first quarter. And if you took the under, I mean, the Eagles did their part, but the Jaguars did not when they scored 59 points to destroy the Eagles, which I don't even know where they're from. Are the Eagles Eastern? Eastern what? I'm thinking South Alabama is the Jaguars. Look, the bowl games are weird. Now, the college playoffs, I will watch that. And I think they just need to make it, they need to make these kind of like they do with the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Like, I get it, they get the sponsors because they get the Chick-fil-A. They get the Chick-fil-A bowl, they get the All State Insurance Company bowl, they get the Cotton Bowl. I don't even know what the cotton's for. But TiVo, not TiVo, it's TiVo. TiVo. They get the Comcast Infinity Bowl. I don't know. There's all these bowls where these sponsors advertise it. So they're probably getting money, but I don't watch any of the bowl games. If I did, it might be like I'd watch Washington, but they're in the playoffs this year. Minnesota, if they make it to a bowl game, I would watch that. The U of M, the Gophers, Golden Gophers, I would watch that. But as far as like most bowl games, I don't even think people really watch them overall. Like I said, unless they're degenerate gamblers, they just love the game of football. But this game was awful, as you can see. One team got dominated, but here's the problem. The team that lost, which is the Eagles, they got upset and they attacked the winning team after the game. So let's watch this real quick. Oh, okay. Keep the sound off for this. This is them just annihilating them. And it doesn't even look. This is what I want to point out right here. Look at how he celebrates after the touchdown. He doesn't. I mean, there might have been something after the cameras went off, but usually you'll see a guy like he'll be in there making snow, like, well, it's not snowing, but he'll be in there making snow angels. He might moon the crowd. He might put his hand up to his ear and say, "Hey, talk now." He might quiet everybody down. He might put a three to the brain. That's more basketball, but I don't even see them cheering. He's just like, I mean, it's kind of pathetic at this point. So he's not even doing. I mean, usually they got a whole celebration where he'll stand there and turn into a bowling ball and he'll roll into his teammates and knock them all down like bowling pins and laugh. Or I'm not even seeing them celebrating like that. They're just like, this is pathetic. This team is not on our level. So I don't even know why Eastern Michigan is so upset, but you'll see right here, and this is the juicy part, I believe. Yeah, right here. So look at this guy. Look at this. he came in. He came and hit the guy. I'll leave a little bit of sound on. Look at that. Oh, let's go back to the beginning real quick. They're just chilling. The band's playing music. Bing, and he punched him through his helmet, and he don't have a helmet on. That just doesn't seem strategically like the right thing to do. Like you're gonna take your helmet off and then hit somebody with a helmet on. That's like going into a gunfight against a guy that has full body armor, including a helmet of Teflon, and you just go in there with nothing on. You go in there walking in like me, and this guy got full body armor on. You think you're gonna win the battle? And you're running into his whole team. And it looks like they made quick work of him. We actually got a picture of the aftermath of everything, but look right here. Look at this fool. He ain't got a helmet on. He is a guy with a helmet on. And his teammate immediately had his back. 20 was in there, and he comes over, not even phased at all. And then they just start whopping dude, and a couple of his teammates try to come in, which they shouldn't have, because this guy looked like he acted rogue by himself. So that happened. And then let's see, do we got anything else? I think I had one more I want to show. Okay, yeah, this is the band right here playing. Look, the bands over there, they're all like kind of in like a trance-like state. This is weird. Oh, let's see. Can we get their expressions? Oh, they took it. I want to see their expressions. We already seen the fight. Oh my God. This is crazy. Football players fighting. They play the most violent sport in the game, but we're gonna say ooh and ah when they actually get out there and fight, which is just like, come on, man, what are we doing here? People be over exaggerating everything. The crowd kind of booing and stuff. But yeah, so but the aftermath was the funny part. Is this it? No, it's not it. It was this one. This ain't it. I thought I had it. Oh, I think no, I didn't even see this one. Hold on. I didn't even see that one. Look at him. That's the guy right. Look at him. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Hold on, man. Let me get it. Bro, he isn't emotional to messed up this guy's white tee. I just washed my locks, man. I don't want to have to wash my locks, and I'm washing out blood of an idiot. Emotional, mad idiot. Mad because he lost. Do better on the field, man. I've taken losses like that in sports. I've gotten spanked by 50, 60 points in basketball games, in football games. I've watched, been out there with my team and gotten annihilated by better teams. And all you can do is just after the game is shake hands. I'd say I shake hands 99.9% of the time. There's probably been one or two times where I didn't shake hands with an opponent if it got disrespectful, if they're calling me bitches or something like that, or they're doing things like that. That does happen within sports. Um, but like the truth is like when you lose, take it and move on, man. Because when you do it to other people, you expect the same thing. But you got this fool right here. Only one without his helmet on. And it's just ridiculous, man. So I don't know what's going on with Eastern. He must be a senior. This must be his last year for him to do something that stupid. And yeah. Who's this guy right here? This lady recording is this lady recording is one of the most annoying voices. I didn't even hear her talking. People be noticing some weird stuff. But yeah, so that's that. That was that brawl. And we're gonna move on to Zion. This is a weird one because I don't really know what's going on here. This isn't what I want to show to begin with. It was actually, well, let's go to think this is the initial one. So shout out to Daily Loud. That's where I seen the story at initially. And this adult star, Mariah Mills, I think I've heard her name a few times in the past, but she basically goes off on Zion. I think they had a relationship in the past, and she's disgruntled that Zion didn't choose her and ended up moving forward with another woman and getting having a child with her and also marrying her, I believe. I think they're married or they're at least having a child. But she goes off to attack Zion. So we'll listen to her real quick and see what's going on. First thing, she says, get on a treadmill, maybe you lose some weight. I mean, he runs a lot. He's having different issues why he's not losing weight. I don't really think it has anything to do with how much he works out because he works out a lot. You can be fat and still work out. Look at what's the guy that he plays for Memphis now, but no, he was with Memphis, but they dropped him when Ja played. Lofton Jr., I think. He's a big guy. He's kind of like on Zion Williams type of level. Actually, hold on, let me pull him up real quick. I'll show y'all real quick who I'm talking about, and then we'll go back to her in a second. So this guy, Lofton, I think that's his name, Lofton Jr. Is that okay? I got him right here. So Lofton Jr. is a big dude as well, and these guys actually, like honestly, they what am I? That's crazy. Shoot, see. This guy Lofton right here. I'll zoom in on him. This is him at Louisiana. Wow. I mean, look at him. I mean, this guy here is look at his neck. He's a really good basketball player though, which is crazy. But he's big for his size. I mean, his BMI is not where it needs to be. You see him right here. But he's a good basketball player. But I don't think that these guys, the issues with the treadmill, I think it's more with their diet, and it's probably has something to do with just DNA. Like some people are bigger naturally than others, you know, and that's just the truth. And sometimes you have to really combat and fight that. So I don't really think it has much to do with just the fact that he's overweight. I don't really think that the fact that he's overweight has a lot to do with how much he works out and he plays basketball all the time. It's more his diet. So she's kind of wrong with that. But what else you got to say? Yeah, there you go. What? That makes no sense. There she goes with it. See, that's what I don't get. Like, what are we doing with the you were in bed with them though, so and you weren't in bed with them one time, multiple times you were in bed with Zion. So don't after the first time, if you were like, all right, this guy's pathetic and awful, I'm never gonna have relations with him again, then you stop messing with him. I get it, but you continued to you know, fornicate with him. And then after the fact, you're like, well, you know, I'm not rocking with you no more. You're this and you're that, and you're small and you're you're not able to please me and all that. So why'd you keep sleeping with him? What? So that's ad hominem attack. Uh she did say something that makes sense though. He needs to eat better. Just is what it is. I think we all know that. Usually you don't really have to do that until you're later in your age. Like I could eat whatever I wanted to throughout my 20s and stay the most athletic person on the court or on the field most of the time, honestly. But, as I got older, I had to, change my eating habits and I did do that and it has kept me in shape. But yeah, so she's kind of right about that part, but the vitriol within what she's saying is unacceptable to me. This is her Instagram right here. And a lot of people say, "Well, why are you highlighting this woman?" I don't care. I mean, she has 82,000 followers, so like who cares? I'm not going to get them anymore and I really don't care about that type of promotion. It's kind of weird when people say that cuz they're like, but there's big YouTubers that do reaction videos on content creators that have like 10 subscribers. They'll react to like a woman complaining about a relationship that nobody knows from Mobile, Alabama, or Tuscaloosa or something like that. And they're responding to her, and that woman might get like 50 followers, and most of them are just as trolls going over there to harass her. So, whatever. It's out there. Zion decided to talk to her. He's making her famous, and this has nothing to do with me. So, like whatever. And I'm not even that big at this point to even for it to even matter. Uh, but yeah, you can see it right here, and I don't even see the appeal with these type of women. Like, I mean, her body's like not even real, so it's kind of like I don't know, man. I don't get it. I truly don't understand it. I mean, this looks comical right here. This whole area right here. you know, all that stuff being snatched and stuff like that. I mean, what is this? What's going on here? I know y'all like this. The guys love it. The majority of guys love that. Me personally, I don't. Nah, you wouldn't catch me in a back alley somewhere trying to chop her up after the let out at a club. I wouldn't. I promise you I wouldn't. Y'all ain't gotta believe me. It doesn't even matter. It's just the truth. But anyways, tired and boring like you were in bed. I mean, just ridiculous, man. So Zion has some work that he needs to do, but he's in a way better position than she is, and I'm not really rocking with her criticisms of the guy and the way that she is attacking him. I'm always on bias when I come into any story like this, but this just seems like pure jealousy, and jealousy is an emotion that we all have, but you need to figure out a way to control. And she's not doing a good job of that. So it is what it is. I've heard nothing of Zion saying anything about her to provoke this. If he did say anything about her, it was directly to her and behind closed doors. So she didn't need to go on TikTok and make a video about it. But she did, and that was her choice. And now we're talking about it. Let's see. Stephen A. Smith has got on him about his weight. Mills claims she was in a Mills claims she was in a relationship with Mills for the last 3 years. They're both named Mills. Anyways, I think they meant to say Williamson. Years before he met Akima earlier this year, they started as a sneaky link but fell in love. Later suggested he got her pregnant. However, she has since not shown any further signs of pregnancy unless she's going out of her way to avoid showing her belly. Well, what I've seen from her belly is completely snatched, and all the fat has been transferred from what used to be probably somewhat of a, you know, big belly, at least a little beer belly, has got transferred to her butt. And now there's no way she's pregnant with a belly that flat, especially after all this time. So, yeah, she's not pregnant. She's upset. And maybe if you treated Zion better, he'd still be with you right now. Or just kept things hidden, and he'd have kept you on the side like, y'all were at the time. And she's 32 years old. And she was in a secret relationship when he was 23. 23. So, I don't know. Zion made the right decision to get away from her, and she showed after the fact, or maybe even during the fact. But do I have anything else on this? Oh, so Zion, he is kind of reaping the benefits of the decisions that he's making, that she highlighted in small portions, not out of good faith, but out of vitriol, not trying to help him, but trying to make him feel bad about it. But yeah, the final 3 years of Zion Williamson's deal are no longer guaranteed after he played only 29 games last year. Williamson signed a 5-year, 197 extension, 197 million extension last July, but the Pelicans negotiated hedges tied to his health and conditioning. So because he didn't maintain his the so basically they had a clause in there that said, Zion, you have to maintain this weight, you have to play this amount of games, you can't be getting hurt due to you not staying in shape and keeping your physical health where it needs to be. And because of that, we are going to be able to void your contract if you don't keep those obligations met. And Zion Williamson did not do that. So it looks like now they can void his contract at any time. The thing about it is if they void his contract, he'll get signed with another team, but not for the price that he got from the Pelicans. So I don't know. I would think that his family is probably pushing him to do better because they, get a lot from this. Zion might not care so much because the money he already has right now, just taking care of himself, is probably going to be enough for him to be good for the rest of his life. But if you include all his family and probably some parasites that are, on the outside looking in, it's not gonna be enough for them. So they probably are like, yo, Zion, you need to get it together, man. Like, I know I'm like, 50th in your will, but if I can get 50,000 out of you at some point, that might help me. So yeah, he's very inconsistent as far as the way, no, I'm not doing that. I'll just close that right now. But yeah, so shout out to that's just some guys on Twitter talking. Shout out to Zion, man. I hope he gets it together. I just like to see people do good when they're good people. It seems like Zion's a good person for the most part. He just has some issues that he needs to deal with in privacy because we don't really see what he does off the court. So we don't really know what's going on. He could be eating perfectly healthy. It's very unlikely because you know the evidence shows that he's not, but he could be trying his hardest and just dealing with other issues. I think what is it? It's thyroid, right? Where you can have issues there, and it could really affect your weight. So he could have some medical issues that are preventing him from losing weight and getting into optimal shape. But he's going to continue to deal with problems and have injuries as long as his body is not at the right weight. Because I was just talking to my kids about this, and I made a metaphor to say like we were driving back, and on the vehicle, or most vehicles, or a lot of them, you can see where it says the miles per gallon that you get. And I told my kids that because I was talking to them about their weight, and I just wanted to kind of give them maybe like a little, because they're in good shape now, but it can slip at any moment if you're not focused. And I was just telling them, it's like right now you see our vehicle. I always call everything with my kids ours, even though I'm the one that paid for everything. It doesn't matter. It's ours. And I told them right now we're getting 20.9 gallons. That's what it said. I said if I attach a boat to the back of this vehicle, we'll still be able to go 100 miles an hour in this vehicle. If I hit the gas, it's still going to take off. Zoom. We're going to still be able to go 100 miles an hour. And I demonstrated that because I hit the gas and we took off really fast. And they were like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. So I can attach a boat or put a ton of bricks in the back of the car and add an extra 600 pounds to the vehicle. And we'll still be able to go really fast. But what's going to happen is that mileage is gonna go from 20.9 to like 17.6. And it's gonna put more strain on the vehicle when it's riding. necessarily or unnecessarily, you know? And that kind of hit them. They were like, wow, okay, I get it. So, like, right now, I'm in good shape. But if I put 30 pounds on my body, yeah, if you put 30 pounds on your body that isn't within your BMI or what you're supposed to be at, you're going to start having issues. Your knees are going to start to hurt. You might roll your ankles more easily. You might be more prone to different types of injuries. Your back might start to, not feel as stable and different things like that because your body is not supposed to have that weight. When the car manufacturer made my vehicle, they made it with the idea, well, they made it with the specifications of what it's going to be driving under normal loads with, some people in there, maybe a small amount of cargo. But if you add cargo that's not normally supposed to be with the vehicle is going to suffer and it's going to wear down those parts of the vehicle and it's not going to last as long. So that's the same thing with the human body. And what Zion is doing to his body right now is he's putting on unnecessary weight and it's affecting other parts of his body and he's struggling because of it. So that's just something that Zion needs to think about. And, I'm pretty sure he's been told this by multiple people, but I'm more saying this to our audience and us as a team so we can all stay focus moving forward and make sure we don't put ourselves in this position as far as our weight and everything. We don't have to be NBA players, but we need to try to keep our weight in balance because it will affect other things within our lives. And I don't want to see anything bad to happen to any of us, team. So some things we can't prevent, but the things that we can prevent, let's do our best to do just that. Moving on. Last one about sports is Tom Brady. I don't really know what I got on this one. What do I got on this one? Oh, I don't know a lot about this, but Kazi, Kazi. Tom Brady said this. Nobody likes seeing players get hurt, but hard hits happen. QB should not be throwing the ball in areas where they are exposing their own teammates to these types of hits. Coaches need to coach better. QBs need to read coverages and throw the ball to the right places. And defenders should aim for the right hitting areas. To put blame on the defense all the time is just flat out wrong. Uh, players need flat out wrong. Need better QB play. It's not okay. QBs get your receivers hit because of your bad decisions. So I get what Tom Brady's saying. And it's similar to this in basketball. I played football, but only at a high school level. I was never a quarterback. I was mostly cornerback. I did play a little receiver, but your quarterback can lead you into danger. If you got a free safety that's just sitting out there and he's watching your route, he's watching the cornerback, and uh you're going over the middle of the field and the free safety sitting at the middle of the field and you're on a collision course and the QB puts the ball right where you need to catch it, knowing that that free safety sitting there just waiting to blast you as soon as you catch it. And you can't do it. If you go to catch the ball, you have no choice but to get destroyed by that free safety sitting there waiting to to destroy you. So I get what he's saying there. Um, But as many snaps and plays that Tom Brady has thrown, I'm pretty sure that he's put his receivers in some bad situations more than once. So I don't know. It's probably like the kettle, the was it the pot calling the kettle black? I think they showed. I thought I had something where they showed Tom Brady throwing a whole bunch of passes where he was putting guys in compromising situations. But let's show the play where he's talking about specifically where this guy got actually they ejected his name's Demonte Kazi. He got ejected after this game for the illegal hit, but they also kicked him out for the rest of the season after this hit. I don't know. That hit wasn't illegal. Brutal. So we'll show it one more time. What are you really gonna do as a quarterback at this point, though? I don't know if the see, it's hard to say that this is on the quarterback or the receiver. You kinda gotta put it on the defense more because if you look at this play, the only way they can make a reception is to throw it and catch it at that exact same moment. The only person that really has a choice in this matter after the quarterback's throwing the ball is the defender. I mean, where he's standing right now, he can pull back. He can he can see that he's off his feet. There's no way he's landing on his feet. And I'll just tell you, as athletes, if anybody ever tells you we can't control what we're doing, momentum carried us and all that, it's usually wrong because I have very good control over my body. Very good. I almost never make a play that I don't intend to. Sometimes I'm like getting ready to shoot a shot and, I might, well, I don't airball very much. I probably airball like one out of every thousand times. But sometimes, I'll grab the ball and I'll get ready to shoot and it'll slip out of my hands. That happens sometimes. But as far as like controlling my body, I've never did anything most of the time, especially when it comes to like committing a foul that I wasn't trying to do on purpose. That's why I don't commit flagrant or intentional fouls because I can control my body. Like I'm not gonna come down and try to block a ball and slap you across your face. It just doesn't happen. Um, maybe as I get older, I'll lose some of those abilities, but these guys are in their prime, so let's see. Yeah, yeah. He knew that that receiver wasn't catching the ball and gonna be on his feet. So he is basically defenseless at that point, and he hit him on the ground. All you have to do is touch him for him to be down at that point. You can literally just step on him. You don't even gotta hit him. You can just run across his back. Don't even come down and hit him. Just run across his back and you're good. Or run across him and slap him, touch him, and he's good and he's down. But yeah, they gotta make an example of somebody. And he was the one that took that L. So Um, yeah, but there was this compilation where Tom Brady, where Tom Brady was, I can't find it. But anyways, look up Tom Brady compilation defenseless receiver. That'll probably pull something up.